Usisahau kusubscribe, kucomment, kulike na kushare ili kuwa wa kwanza kupata habari mbalimbali kutoka Dar24 Media.
On the side of your prime minister, now we can say a former prime minister, Muhammad Tayyip, he's resigned.
He's resigned and the president accepted the resignation already, and I think this step is part of a positive reform, and is a step to make the atmosphere more positive for a genuine gathering of all the factions of the Palestinian people. We know that there was an invitation in Moscow for the Palestinian groups to all join in a one conference. Hopefully this step will allow a positive atmosphere that a new government will be formed where everybody participates in it. But the most important thing is for all the Palestinian groups to come together and to decide on the way forward.
But maybe he can stay in a side of hostility.
I think all the government will be running their duties until a new government has been formed.
So,
yeah.
So the project will be in Russia or in Palestine?
There was an invitation by the Russian government for all the Palestinian groups to gather and to meet together in Russia.
So they say we don't want the former leaders. We need.
You know, you have to remember that in Palestine we cannot hold such a grouping because of the occupation. What's the guarantee that if the leaders of these groups will come to the meeting and Israel will put them in jail?
Okay.
So yes, you need a place where it can be safer for them to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the increase of illegal settlers in your country. What the reason?
As I said, the scheme of Israel, the greater plan of colonial Israel, is to substitute the Palestinian citizens by Jewish citizens. So contrary to the agreements, contrary to the law, contrary to the international law, contrary to the international treaties, contrary to the law of war, Israel have moved its citizens from Israel to the Palestinian areas, which is supposed to be by the agreement, the Palestinian state. Israel start to implant these settlements within the Palestinian state to prevent the Palestinian state to be achieved. So this is one of the plans that Israel is continuously supporting. This shows that Israel has no intention whatsoever to come to a peaceful settlement with the Palestinians. By law, Israel does not have the right or cannot move its citizens to the state of Palestine.
So,
even if it's under occupation.
Yeah. Who give the weapons to ordinary people or citizens who were settled in your country illegal? And what do you think the goal? Because
the goal is to execute the intentions of this far right-wing Israeli government, which is a fanatic fascist government led by two main ministers, the Smotrich and Ben Gvir. They are far right-wing religious leaders who've been, by the way, recognized as terrorists by the Israeli courts. Ben Gvir, who's a minister in the ministry of Benjamin Netanyahu, and Smotrich, they were accused being a terrorist by the Israeli law itself. Now they became ministers, and these ministers, especially Ben Gvir, he is weaponizing all of these settlers, giving them weapons so they can attack Palestinian villages and Palestinian houses and Palestinian residents in Palestine, to terrorize them to leave their countries. They can shoot. They killed so many people. They burned so many houses. They burned so many farms. They uprooted farms and trees, fruit trees for the Palestinian people, to make it difficult for the Palestinians to stay within the West Bank. So this is their mentality. The same is happening in East Jerusalem, by the way. Demolishing houses, killing the Palestinians or put them in jail. To force them to leave the West Bank, East Jerusalem, out to any other country in the world. As I said, they gave us two options, either being dead or being out.
So how many settlers?
Unfortunately, the number is growing so tremendously that we have up to 700,000 settlers already in Palestine, in the country that is supposed to be the state of Palestine. And those settlers are a far right-wing religious settlers who is supported by the government financially. And why, people have to understand why somebody who's a Jew coming from Argentina want to be a settler in the West Bank. Why would he do that? Or who's a Jew from New York, why would he want to be a settler in Palestine, in the West Bank, carrying a gun, chasing children? Because of financial incentives. You pay 5%, I think, of a house and it's yours. And you have, if any child, you bring any child, you have money, the government will pay you money as an assistant for your children. So it is a very financially motivated presence. As somebody who have no job, you can go there, be a settler, and then you have a house, and then you have a car, and you have subsidy from the government. Yes, you will go.
So definitely there is not a lot of number of Israel, but there is a lot of number of Jews. So they took Jews to turn it to be Israel, Jews to turn it to be Israel.
All the citizens of Israel, according to the last Israeli national law, says that Israel is a citizen of Jews, not the citizen of Israel, the country of Jews, not the country of Israelis. Meaning that all of these settlers who are Jew, national of Israel, they are also present in a country that's supposed to be a sovereign Palestinian state. This meaning that Israel is continuing its occupation for the whole historical Palestine.
And why do you think George Bush and Barack Obama opposed that illegal settlers?
I think they were more clever than the Israeli government now because they wanted to protect Israel. They thought that if Israel wants to push all the Palestinians, ethnically cleanse all the Palestinians, Israel will endanger itself by so many tremendous enemies that it creates. And then the law, the international law, the international legitimacy, the international courts, the international treaties, says that this is an act of genocide and this is an unapproved act. This is unlawful, illegal. So to build a wall in Palestine and say this is a separation wall between Israel and this is illegal. You can build it in your land, but not on mine. You cannot transfer your citizens to my country. This is illegal. Who can support this? It is embarrassing for those countries who are supporting the action of Israel by supporting illegal actions, even in a situation of war.
So why these issues of illegal settlers has grown take place in West Bank and Jerusalem? Why?
Because the only presence of the Palestinian people now as the agreements of the peace process that West Bank, Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem will be the sovereign state of Palestine.
Only 3 places.
Those left, this is the 22% of historical Palestine. Because Israel, according to the United Nations partition plan, were supposed to take 55% of Palestine. They took 78% in 1948. Then in 1967, they took 100% of Palestine. According to the law, and according to the peace process, and according to the international community's consensus, that the Palestinian state will be on the 22% of historical Palestine, which is the West Bank, Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem. Israel says, even for that, no. I want everything. I want the 100% of historical Palestine, and I don't want the Palestinians to stay there. We can keep some minority, and that's it.
Lastly, why Israel attacking neighboring countries like Syria and Lebanon, and even threatening Jordan? Do they need intermediaries?
Because Israel is the unique one country in this world that did not announce their borders. Israel is an expansionist scheme. Israel wants to expand. Israel, until today, they did not draw their borders. They did not say our border is this. Tanzania have known borders. Burundi has known borders. France known borders. By all countries, only Israel says we don't have borders. Meaning that we can take some of Lebanon, that Israel can take some of Syria, that Israel can take some of Jordan, Israel can take some of Saudi, they can take some of Iraq, because they don't want to announce our borders, as the Israeli says that it's an elastic thing. It can move. Today it's here, tomorrow it will be there. That's why they are trying to create fear in Lebanon. They are attacking Lebanon, and they say, we want all the Lebanese resistance to move to the north. The Syrian government, they have to move away from Israel, because they are planning to have more land from the Arab countries by fear, by force, by war, by aggression. Until now, they did not announce their borders because they think that these borders will be even further into the Arab world. This is what I understand from this action.
Really?
Unfortunately, really.
So, your last words to Palestinians, your last words to anyone that support you guys.
My last word is, this is a test for our humanity. This is a test for our legality. This is a test for our ambitions, for our future generations to be free, and to be free from aggression, free from fear, free from oppression, free from being oppressed by other or told by other what to say. This is an opportunity for all of us, for the whole world, for the whole communities in the world, to say enough is enough of this aggression, of this colonial mentality, of this theft and terrorism of countries and of states. I wish that we all come together to say no for aggression, no for the Israeli expansion, no for the American colonial scheme, and we want to live as equal. This is an opportunity. Today it's Palestine, tomorrow you don't know which other country is being targeted. But if we don't take a stand today, tomorrow it's going to be easier for the aggression to thrive and to take more land and to attack other countries and to attack other people and to suck their resources and to enslave them. Today is an opportunity for all us to come together and say enough of aggression, enough of occupation, enough of colonial scheme, enough of deportation, terrorism. We have to stand up together. This is my hope and this is my dream. And I am positive that it is happening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shukran.
Inatosha kwa yale ambayo yanafanyika nchini Palestina, inatosha kwa yale ambayo wanafanyiwa wa Palestina, kwa sababu tusipopaza sauti kwa sasa, inawezekana siku ijayo kawa nchi nyingine, ikawa taifa lingine, wakawa watu wengine, wakawa pia inawezekana ambao wakawa wanapata shida, au wanaweza wakawa wanapata tabu kutokana na kile ambacho kama kinachofanyika nchini Palestina. Waziri amezungumzia kuhusiana na hali ya taifa lake, lakini pia wale wahamiaji haramu ambao wanaendelea kupandikizwa katika taifa lao, kwamba anakuambia ndio Israeli katika ID zao ama vitambulisho vyao pale hawaandiki wa Israeli, wanaandikwa kwamba ni Mayahudi. Kwa hiyo kwamba ukiwa Myahudi yoyote, ukiwa Mjuu yoyote, unaweza ukapata nafasi katika taifa lao, lakini kwa wao, kwa watu ambao wameondoka, kurudi inakuwa ni changamoto, hasa kutokana na kile ambacho amekieleza. Lakini pia vile vile amezungumzia swala zima la amani katika eneo lao, hasa katika maeneo matatu ambayo ameyataja: West Bank, Jerusalem pamoja na Gaza, kule katika kuhakikisha kwamba ndio sehemu ambayo Palestina imeweka mizizi yake. Lakini Kwa upande wa Israel, kwa nini wanawatishia yale mataifa ya jirani kushambulia? Kwa maana kwamba anaweza kwambia Burundi kuna mipaka, labda Tanzania kuna mipaka, chingine zina mipaka, lakini Israel wanahitaji kujitanua zaidi, hawana mipaka. Kulingana na namna ambavyo amezungumza, mengi ambayo ameyasema, sina haja ya kuzungumzia, huenda ni karibu kile ambacho ametaka kifike kwa watu, ametaka kifike kwa watazamaji. Mimi naitwa Somba, hii ni Dar24 Media. Shukran sana kwa ndugu yangu Humphrey kutoka ubalozini hapa kwa kutunga mkono katika wafanyikaji wa mahojiano haya, lakini pia shukran kwa cameraman wangu Pobaisa Festo Lumwe, anapatikana kwenye Instagram Makabe Lumwe, lakini pia dereva wangu Victor Mlai. Mpaka wakati ujao, shukran sana.
Usisahau kusubscribe, kucomment, kulike na kushare ili kuwa wa kwanza kupata habari mbalimbali kutoka Dar24 Media.